Hello and welcome to another tutorial on photo editing with the GNU Image Manipulation Program, otherwise known as GIMP, or the GIMP. Let's load up Rocket in an airplane. There she is. And let's look, today we're going to look at layers and layer masks. So the whole idea behind a layer-based raster editor is the picture is composed of a series of layers that are piled on top of each other, and in certain areas of each layer you can see through, either because it's somewhat transparent or because there's like pieces of it cut out, sort of like if you like cut a hole in a piece of paper and laid it over another roll, sort of like masking, taking like a painting and putting it in a frame with a mask around it, so that you crop out just the right amount of the picture. So up here is your layers. This is where it shows where our layers are. I'm going to move this over here. So we only have one layer. This is our background layer. This is our main layer. When we load up a photograph like this, this is what we end up with. So we can add another layer by hitting this little plus thing. And it asks us, when we hit this little plus layer, new layer button, it asks us what we want. And we're just going to say, is it fill with transparency? We're going to have it fill with, yeah, transparency is fine. Hit OK. So right now this layer has nothing. It doesn't do anything. It's not contributing anything to the problem or to this picture. So what we're going to do is we're going to select a color. Let's do some sort of, like greenish, some sort of, let's do kind of like a teal color because her hoodie's kind of green in the picture. And then we're going to fill it with this color. So we use the paint bucket tool and just boop, plooped it down. So now as you can see, this layer completely occludes the layer underneath. So we don't see any of this. So if I turn off the eyeball, that turns off the layer. So it's completely blocking the entire thing. So up here, we're going to grab the rectangle. So you can right click on these, and sometimes that brings up extra tools underneath. So instead of ellipse select, I want rectangle select. So we're gonna do some fun things with this layer here. So we're gonna go up here and look at this layer, and we are going to add a layer mask. So you right click on the layer and add a layer mask, and we want to have it all white, which means full opacity. So this layer mask is what it is it's like a black and white image that decides how much color this layer is going to show. So you can use the layer mask to mask out areas of a picture. So it's right now the layer mask is all white, and so we're going to take, I'm resetting the colors to black and white, and what I'm going to do is with the layer mask selected, you select the layer mask. I'm just going to select the top of it. Then I'm going to grab the paint bucket tool, and with the black color selected, I'm just going to color in. So now you can see there's a black bar inside the layer mask, and in here you can see the top of Rocket's head. Let's try this again. Let's select a different part of the picture. Let's select another layer down to like half. Yeah, like right there. So this is our new selection. And now we're going to take a less dark color. Let's go down to here, like a gray. So it's a dark gray. And then we'll grab our paint bucket and drop that into the layer mask. So now you can see here, let's select none. Now you can see there's like a line here. Now this is kind of partly blue, and so it's slightly transparent. It's like a transparency that's been colored very slightly, but you can still see through it. Let's do another one. So right now I'm just editing this layer mask, and you can see the dark gray layer mask right there. And we're going to do another one. We're going to grab this part, and again we're still selecting the layer mask. We're not doing anything to the actual layer. The layer is still just a solid teal. We're doing the layer mask. And then we'll lighten up that color a little bit more to sort of a light gray. And hit OK. Grab our paint bucket and put that in. And Control-Shift-A. OK. And so you can see now we have the layer mask is like black, dark gray, light gray, and white. And over here, that translate as that's masking out this all solid teal layer. This is not really teal. It's sort of a pale blue. So the way it's masking out this layer is it's basically totally transparent, slightly transparent, mostly not transparent, and completely opaque here. That's how those colors translate into the layer mask. So let's try this with a different project. Let's go new. And we're going to pop out this one. And we're going to say image, fit canvas to layers. We're going to get rid of this layer. Okay, so this is our new image. This is a picture of Rocket. Again, all of these pictures are of Rocket for the most part. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to play around with layers and layer masks in a little different way. So this is our layer. What we're going to do is we're going to where's the button to duplicate? Yeah, here we go. Duplicate the layer. So this button right here duplicates it. And we're going to go up into colors, and we're going to find filter. Is it under filter? Did they move it? Enhance, distort, generic, combine, artistic. Where's desaturate? I want desaturate. Desaturate. There we go. We're going to go to desaturate. And the mode we want to use is luminance. So luminance is based on a mathematical formula that somebody designed to like calculate how a black and white picture should look based on how bright colors look to the human eye. They basically did a big study and found that this particular formula for the R, G, and B values, because when you desaturate a picture and make it black and white, you're only using one value. How black or how white is it? And so it's 1/255, 0 to 255. 0 being totally black and 255 being totally white, and that's it. So when you use luminance, you say that blue is considered a really dark color, green is a really bright color, or green is a really strong color, and red is kind of in the middle somewhere. And you use this formula to multiply by the various components, the red, green, and blue components of each pixel, and then use this magic formula to get a perfect gray value that makes a black and white picture. So the luminance formula is the one here. The other ones, they have, if you look through them, you'll see that they kind of have slightly different takes on the color. My favorite one is to use luminance, though. So we'll use luminance. And then what we've got, we've got a color version of the picture, and we've got a black and white version of the picture. So we have these two layers. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the black and white layer and add a layer mask. And we have full opacity on. And then select that layer mask. And now check this out. We're going to take our paintbrush, and we're going to take the color black, and we're going to select sort of a fuzzy edged, want slightly bigger maybe, slightly bigger paintbrush. And then check this out. So let's actually, so you can actually take like a black and white picture, you just totally desaturate an entire image, and then put a layer mask on the black and white layer, and then just have certain parts of the image in color. And this creates a really fun effect. So see how it's not really showing up in here. This layer is still black and white. All you see is this black blob sort of materializing in the layer mask. That's the only thing that's changing. We're not destroying any information. And so this is a fun little photo technique that you can use just to make your images look interesting. I mean, this is kind of a beginner technique that I think can instantly enhance the pictures that you have. You just take the pictures you have on your phone and you want to just play around with them and make something that's really going to pop. Make these crab apples stand out. And use like a soft-edged brush. Don't use like a hard-edged brush. Pick one that has like a fuzzy outside so that you don't end up with really harsh edges. And you want it to be kind of fuzzy on the edges. And then, yeah, and so you end up with something like this, this totally black and white image, but then certain pieces of it you can call out in color. I could do the same thing with, say, this one right here. Let's get rid of this one, and we'll make sure fit canvas layers, and then we'll duplicate the layer. Boom. We'll go to desaturate, and then luminance. Hit OK, and now you can't see, like, everything kind of looks like it's all blended in together. But when we add our layer mask to this, and then start painting that layer mask in with black in the area around this flower, you can end up with something that's very cool. I think I'm going to undo that and just try to get the petals. Try to avoid any green as best as you can. This is totally a freehand thing. I try to do it in strokes. Like, don't do the whole thing with one mouse click. Otherwise, if you make a mistake and you have to hit Control-Z, it undoes like all your work. So try to do little short strokes. If this would be actually a great... I have this drawing tablet right next to me here that I could be using right now, but I'm not. This would be a perfect application for it. So these wildflowers are very, very bright pink, and they grow in my front yard every year, and they're just absolutely stunning. They stick around for about 2-3 weeks, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. So you can see, like, here it is with this layer and the layer mask. So all the mask does is it blocks out a certain area of that layer from showing and lets whatever's underneath that layer show through. So when we're looking at this pink, we're actually looking at the pink that's on this layer. So you can see this one will turn black and white and disappear into the background. So there's flower here, flower here, flower here, and flower here. But they become almost invisible when you turn it to black and white. So you're just trying to call out a certain color. You can do it with this. So this is it's a fun tool, and it's a very simple tool to use, and it kind of gives us an idea of how layers work and how the whole thing is just a stack of different layers that are all shining through each other and adding their own effects. And so in the next couple tutorials, we're going to talk more about layers and how we can use layers to do some very interesting things. So we'll see you in the next one.